It's a new EFL season, and though there are new managers and new signings, there'll be no changes to the drama and competitive spirit that characterises the English Football League. Vincent Kompany's reign as Burnley manager began at Huddersfield, who also had a new man at the helm. Could Danny Schofield's first game in charge result in a Terriers win? Rotherham are back in the Championship and hoping to stay there. First test for them was a Swansea side looking for improvement under Russell Martin. But we begin in Cardiff, who have undergone a summer of huge change under Steve Morison. They faced relegated Norwich as Dean Smith began his first full season in charge of the Canaries. Commentary comes from Paul Walker.
Cardiff haven't won an opening day fixture since a 1-0 success at Burton 5 years ago. Fizzed into Cantwell, has a look and has a go! And it's a wonderful save from Allsop, who went plunging to his left. The first moment of meaningful action in this game. And it's Todd Cantwell who tests the agility of Ryan Allsop. Kipre. Into Sawyers. O'Dowda is away from Max Aarons, good feet. Sawyers lashes one goalwards! And what a hit it was! On debut, Romain Sawyers brings the Cardiff City Stadium to its feet. He was urged to shoot by the locals. He accepted the invitation and it flew beyond Tim Krul. The man who previously played under Norwich boss Dean Smith at Brentford and at Walsall arrows it into the corner. And the Bluebirds are off to a flyer in this second half. Cantwell and Sawyers coming close. And Norwich get themselves a corner. Hanley and Omabemidele are up from the back. Cantwell bends it in, McLean off the bar. Hanley makes a complete mess of that. Rashica, Cardiff not in the clear yet. Renamota hacks it away, but Kenny McLean a lick of paint away from levelling the scores here in Cardiff. First time from Cantwell's corner on the volley and back off the bar. Now Pookie looks to get away, he was dragged back by Winkle. That'll be a card, I would have thought. In fact, it was Rolls rather. And it just boils over, and Hanley has made contact with Perry and G. That looked very ugly. And it's all getting extremely heated. Now, what did the officials see of that from Grant Hanley, who could be in very hot water here? Joe Rolls initially drags back Teemu Pukki. He boils over there, but... well, that angle is quite conclusive, actually. I don't think Grant Hanley actually pushes Perry and G. If anything, it might have been Omabemidele who came across. Hanley being called over. It is yellow for Grant Hanley. So yellow for Joe Rawls. Good play from Rashica to get out of a bit of difficulty over there. He was being held back. Where was he? Yeah, it is going to be a Norwich free kick. A yellow card for NG. There's a second yellow which changes the colour to red, and Cardiff are reduced to 10 men. You can see the tug there on Rashica. He was already booked, he was walking a fine line, and now he's walking back to the showers. McCallum, who was making his league debut for Norwich. Well, Cardiff were building, and the referee has stopped play with Mark Harris down injured. He's going for his pocket again. And Hanley is going to go here. A second yellow means red. It ends. Cardiff City 1, Norwich City 0.
On paper, Preston's transfer business looks exciting, sweeping the Premier League for out-of-contract youngsters and loan deals. But it was Wigan defender Jack Watmore with the first big chance. Former Newcastle man Freddie Woodman kept out the shot. Back in the Championship, Wigan hadn't been quite so active in the window. Liam Richardson keeping faith with his promoted squad. Ben Amos with an important double save just before the break, denying Tottenham loanee Troy Parrott and Emile Rees. From the corner, the Dane had another chance. This time he managed to beat Amos, but not the crossbar, as Rees's improvised flick was just too high. Preston boss Ryan Lowe brought on Ched Evans midway through the second half and almost instantly regretted it. He lasted just 8 minutes on the pitch. He took on Curtis Tilt at full tilt. Referee Bobby Madley made up his mind quickly. A straight red for Evans. Not much argument from the striker. A big chance for Wigan against the 10 men. But this was a game dominated by defences. A goalless draw on the cards from early on. Ben Whiteman throwing his body in the way of Tendai Darikwa's shot. Wigan off the mark in the Championship. A good start from them. But next week they'll face Norwich City, who were 2 divisions above them last season.
At the apex of their regular promotion and relegation routine, Rotherham fans can expect plenty of ups and downs before now and May too. It was a pleasant surprise for them against Swansea, where Chidozie Ogbene put the Millers ahead with their first effort of note. Rotherham had barely had a kick before he scored on 16 minutes. Ogbene's presence is good news in itself. Linked with the move away from Rotherham, he remains in red and white for now. This overhead kick, saved by Andy Fisher, showed just how important it is to hold on to him. Swansea, meanwhile, had 3 new faces in their 11. Harry Darling from MK Dons looks a great signing. A ball-playing central defender, Darling showed exactly what he can do here. A few more like this, and Darling will be Swansea's new idol. Defensively, the Swans remain a work in progress. Although seeing far less of the ball, Rotherham was still creating chances. Fisher had to deny Ogbene again in the second half. With 12 Championship goals to his name, Michael Obafemi was one of Swansea's main men last season. So only he will know how he failed to get his name on the score sheet in this one. An expensive miss by Obafemi, who could so easily have won the game for the away side. The Swans simply must improve on last season's 15th place. And though they finished strongly here, there was to be no quick fix. Victor Johansson's save from Jamie Patterson ensured that Rotherham took a point. It was no more than their battling performance deserved. Paul Warne will demand more of the same as the Millers seek to end their cycle of boom and bust. We head to the Riverside Stadium next. Middlesbrough and West Brom are both tipped to be among the promotion contenders this season. How would they fare against one another? Commentary comes from Kevin Keatings.
Chris Wilder, who like Steve Bruce, knows how to get promotion out of this division. And it'll be a big disappointment if both of these clubs aren't making a real push for the Premier League next season. Here's Jed Wallace. Oh, goes for it! Oh, it's a brilliant save in the end from Stephen. That's meant for Giles. Right idea from Middlesbrough to try and pick him out. It was Riley McGree, the Australian number 8, who tried to find Giles, but here is Giles once more. Slips a good ball into Akpom. Chance goal! Isaiah Jones for Middlesbrough. Beautifully worked. The Wolverhampton Wanderers loanee picks it up here. Lovely ball into Akpom. He did equally well to drive it across, and there was the right wing back Isaiah Jones with the freedom to find the corner of the net. On by Howson, accurate ball to Jones. Real good athlete, Isaiah Jones. He is swift. What more? Nicely done. McGree's onside. Middlesbrough look for the penalty. No flag for the assistant on the far side. No movement from referee Tony Harrington. Middlesbrough have enjoyed 65% of possession. Here they come once more with Crooks. And now Giles fed into a great area, and somehow Watmore didn't turn it home for 2-0. Watmore looking to take on Ajayi, who stood his ground well. Now then, this is onside. There should be a pass. And it's a cutback and a goal for John Swift. Beautiful pass from the outside of the foot. And there's the awareness of Wallace to pick out Swift. Well, between them, they scored 17 goals for their respective clubs last season. Between them, 25 assists. And these two are going to be a couple to watch for Albion this season. It's Carlin Grant. And they've slipped in behind Middlesbrough here with ease. Could be 2-1. Good save. Big save from Zach Steffen to deny Swift. Well, how the pendulum has swung here. And now Dean Garner running away from Jones here. Roared forward by the Albion fans. 3 against 2 in Albion's favour. Dean Garner. And now Wallace. Oh, a poor finish. And look at Carlin Grant wanting the square pass. And it was neither a shot of any quality or indeed an attempted pass of any quality from Wallace. Couldn't have asked to be in a better position. Look, he's waving Grant into position. He plays it straight at the goalkeeper. Inexplicable, really. And both sides have to settle for a point each. Both expected to be in the promotion mix. But probably in the final analysis, a fair outcome. First match of the season in the Championship for these two, down by the Riverside, ends in a final score of Middlesbrough 1, West Bromwich Albion 1.
Touching pre-match scenes at Luton, 11-year-old Alfie Westwood, a Matchday mascot. His father Matt has cancer and was attending his last ever game. The club had welcomed the Westwood family to the training ground in the build-up to the match. When the action got underway, Luke Freeman looked to begin his first appearance for the club in style, only for Birmingham debutant John Ruddy to frustrate Nathan Jones. If you're looking for home defeats, there don't tend to be many at the Kenny. Any Blues takeover looks a way off. Norwich loanee Przemysław Płocheta tried to take over this particular contest. There are a few haters of the Hatters, low on budget, high on praise from their Championship colleagues. Summer recruit Carlton Morris so close to the deadlock breaker. Last term's 6th place finishers, who've improved their position every year since gaining promotion, look the more likely goal-getters all afternoon. Alan Campbell couldn't find a way past a resilient Ruddy. The visitors unable to repeat the stunning win of their previous visit. John Eustace with a useful start to life as Brum boss nonetheless, as Harry Cornick just failed to repeat past heroics, leaving honours even and the scorers untroubled.
New season, new managers for both Blackburn and Queen's Park Rangers, who had Michael Beale taking charge of a senior match for the first time, and Usman Kakai came so close to scoring the first goal of the Beale era. One of John Dahl Thomason's first tasks at Rovers was to appoint a new captain. As expected, he plumped for Lewis Travis, referring to him as a soldier who takes responsibility. This is what he was talking about. The applause well-deserved. 34 minutes into the campaign, they'll see few better than this at Ewood Park this season. How much more will they see of Ben Brereton Diaz? Speculation over his future continues. He showed why there's so much outside interest. A stinging shot to test Seny Dieng in the QPR goal. And then in the second half, as Blackburn continued to press for a second, the Chilean tried again from distance and wasn't too far off. The likes of Sevilla, Leeds and West Ham have all been touted as potential destinations for Brereton Diaz, an undoubted goal threat, and he had the ball in the net here, only to see it chalked off for offside. But Rovers' 3 points were already secure.
After top half finishes in each of Gary Rowett's first 3 seasons in charge, Millwall are aiming for the playoffs, fueled by what looks like some canny summer recruitment. 2 of those new boys combining for the opener, George Honeyman's corner muscled in by Charlie Cresswell. Stoke struggled to create much. Tyrese Campbell's long-range attempt as close as they came to scoring. Bartosz Bielkowski just about saving himself from embarrassment as a sold-out Den had hearts in mouths. The second half was much of the same, with set pieces causing the visitors all manner of problems. Another good delivery from Scott Malone wasn't cleared. Tom Bradshaw hammering in the volley, only for Keith Stroud to disallow the goal for offside. Shortly after, yet another Malone corner found a Millwall head. Cresswell unfortunate not to get his second. Joe Bursick with a reflex stop to keep his side in it. But despite all these warnings, Stoke just did not learn. From the resulting corner, again allowing Cresswell space in the box, lashing in his second of the afternoon. His father Richard, a former Stoke striker no less, will be proud of the finish. He ends the day the league's top scorer.
Relegated from the Premier League last season, Burnley have placed their faith in Vincent Kompany as they seek an instant return to the top flight. His first game in charge was at Huddersfield, where Martin Fisher was watching.
Ashley Barnes is through and on goal here. It's a great chance. Took too long to get the shot away. And it's a very tiny challenge from Tom Lees. That's Brownhill. Booked away by Holmes. Drop for Maatsen, who is clearly one of those fullbacks who loves to get forward. Barnes with the little dummy. Brownhill nearly got in. And Maatsen sweeps it home. The young Dutchman on a season loan from Chelsea opens his Burnley accounts inside 18 minutes. And what a great start for Vincent Kompany in his first coaching role in English football. It almost broke down there, but Maatsen arrived in the nick of time. Huddersfield Town 0, Burnley 1. And it's down for Brownhill. Cork on for Costello. Brought it down beautifully on the chest. Lees hasn't completely stopped him. It's Roberts now for Burnley. This is Cullen. Roberts is in! Fabulous save by Nichols. What a wonderful move though from Burnley. And one of the other summer signings, put his name on the score sheet alongside Ian Maatsen. Twine fancies it. Twine goes for it, and he hits the post. So close, Scott Twine. Around the wall, that was heading home. Sign of his confidence, a man that couldn't stop scoring in League One last season with MK Dons. And that'll do. That will do for Vincent Kompany and Craig Bellamy. Huddersfield Town 0, Burnley 1.
Almost a decade after his previous tenure on the Lancashire coast, the second coming of new Blackpool manager Michael Appleton got off to a flying start. Fresh from a 3-year spell at Lincoln, his team hit the ground running against Reading. After Josh Bowler's snapshot was parried 9 minutes in, Callum Connolly delivering the finest of finishers. After scoring just 2 league goals in the whole of last season, off the mark nice and early this time round. 8 years after his 11-month spell as Blackpool boss, Reading manager Paul Ince was also retreading familiar soil, but his team were living dangerously here. Bowler's driving run very nearly ending in a second Blackpool goal. The Tangerines had failed to win any of their opening 5 games last season. They looked determined to make sure history didn't repeat itself this time round. Reading struggled to land a blow. As they pressed for the equaliser, neither Yakou Mete or Junior Hoylett were able to find that elusive finishing touch. Blackpool did the double over Reading last season and held out to win again here. Meanwhile, Ince's side took 15 points from their last 14 games to steer away from relegation on the last campaign. But they still finished in their lowest position in 20 years. On this showing, there's clearly plenty of work still to do.
An electrical fault on the coach almost stranded Bristol City at the team hotel, but a fleet of taxis got them to the MKM Stadium. Mark Sykes then provided the spark for the visitors, setting up Matty James, but Matt Ingram tipped the ball away. Next off the rank for the Robins, last season's top scorer Andy Vyman, picking up where he left off. A fierce drive on the half hour to open the scoring. The Austrian grabbed 22 league goals last season, which earned him a recall to the national side. The 30-year-old then led the celebrations. A thank you to the cabbies who managed to get them to the match on time. Hull's start to the season looked to have stalled, but a half-time rattle from Shota Arveladze seemed to have done the trick. Under their Turkish owner, a flood of new players from his home country arrived in the summer, including the experienced Ozan Tufan, who was inches away from an equaliser. Tufan's loan deal at Watford was cut short last season, but he was gifted the chance to mark his Hull debut with a goal. Little contact evident between Cal Naismith and Benjamin Tete. Referee Dean Whitestone in no doubt though, as he awarded the penalty. Replay suggested the Hull man bought this one. Tufan took responsibility and levelled for the home team. His first goal in English football signalled Turkish delight in the stands for Ajnain Ilukali, the owner. The Robins conceded 77 goals in the Championship last season, and Nigel Pearson's bid to tighten up that defence will require more work. On his return to Hull, a further reminder of what needs to be done. A 93rd minute winner from Jean-Michel Seri. His shot took a huge deflection. Nobody in amber and black will care though. Hull off to a winning start. Their former manager careful with his words.
Here's how the Championship table looks after the opening matches. Even at this early stage, it'll make great reading for Millwall. Top of the tree, thanks to their home win over Stoke City. Things can only improve for the Potters and for Norwich too. It's safe to say that the promotion-chasing Canaries won't remain pointless for long. The moment of the day in League One came at Pride Park Stadium, where Conor Horahan's strike gave Derby victory over Oxford in their first competitive game since exiting administration. Wycombe's 3-0 win against Burton was the biggest of the day in League One. Port Vale were also victorious. Vale beat Fleetwood in a first game at this level for 5 years. Barnsley, Oxford and MK Dons are all hotly tipped this season, but all three lost on opening weekend. Dons' defeat at Cambridge was particularly unexpected. The result of the day in League Two saw Walsall thrash Hartlepool 4-0, with on loan Danny Johnson grabbing an opening day hat-trick. There was no shortage of goals in League Two. Harrogate put 3 past Swindon without reply. Both newcomers to League Two were beaten, Grimsby at Leyton Orient, while Stockport's return to the EFL after 11 years was ruined by Barrow, who beat them 3-2 at Edgeley Park. So that was the story of opening weekend in the EFL, which, as ever, delivered some great drama and some wonderful goals. And the good news is that there'll be plenty more to come. So until next time, from me, Dan Mason, and all of our team, it's goodbye.